How's it going, Marine Cadets? Well, today we've got a kit out. We're looking at what types of stuff we need to be taking on exercise with us. Okay, I'll run you through some of my stuff, starting with the Bergen, then moving on to the webbing, what kit we're taking and how we're going to be packing it. Okay, general rule of thumb is the stuff you want out first gets packed in last. So here's some of the things that I'm going to be taking on exercise with me. I'm going to be taking some spare dry clothes. You'll notice these are in zipper bags. You can get them from Tesco's. Alright, get the air out, zip them up. They're like a vacuum pack. These are going right in the bottom because I probably want these right at the end. So that's the first things I'm going to put in. Spare trousers, spare shirt, spare pair of socks and a fleece. Make sure they're all nicely pushed down to the bottom. You'll also notice in my bag I've got a waterproof membrane here just to keep everything dry. Alright, next thing I'm going to put in is my sleeping bag. I haven't got this in a compression sack because, believe it or not, it takes up too much room. Alright, you get more space in your Bergen if you stuff it in like this. Make sure you push it right down into all those little corners, maximising the amount of space that you can use to get stuff in. Okay, I'm pushing it right down into the very bottom, squashing everything down, making sure there's no little gaps and air pockets anywhere. Okay, the next thing I'm going to put in my Bergen is something I probably don't need till I've got my camp erected, and that is my cooker. I'm using a gas cooker here. You can use hexamine cookers. I'm sure you've all used them before, you know what they look like. Alright, I've got a gas one. That's going in because it's not an essential piece of kit yet. Okay, moving on up. I've got some pockets on the top of my Bergen here. Okay, in this bottom pocket I'm going to put things that I might need that can easily be accessible, like gloves, a bush hat, a nice warm woolly hat if it turns cold at night. They're going to go in there. I'm also sticking in some spare paracord. You never know when that's going to come in handy. Also, in that top pocket I can put in some of my rations. Okay, but for now I'm just zipping it up. Now the top pocket, most important pocket for me on the Bergen, and that is the stuff I'm going to need pretty quickly. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do when I get into my harbour area is I need to erect my bivvy. Okay, in this plastic bag I've got bungee straps and pegs. I need to access them quickly. They're not right at the bottom of the Bergen, so I have to dish everything out first. They're nicely situated right on the very top there. Okay, and another thing I'm going to put up there, which could come in handy, is my head torch, just in case. There's a red light on there and a white light. That's going up there, nice and easy, so I can grab it in an emergency. Zip that up. Okay, other things I need to put in my Bergen. I'll come on to the ration pack in a minute, but I have a day sack here. Once I get into my harbour position and I've got my bivvy set up, we generally go out on patrol. Okay, I'm going to be wearing my webbing, but there might be things that I need to take out with me specifically for the mission we're involved in. Okay, and they're going to go into this day sack. Okay, things like spare ammunition, maybe spare grenades, some spare food, and of course my hydration bladder. Alright, most important. Okay, also If the weather's not too good, I might put my waterproof jacket in there. Okay, but for now, this is going to sit on top of my Bergen. And I'm going to situate it so that the bladder comes out the side. That means when I'm moving into position, okay, I've still got access to water as I'm moving along. Right, I'm going to do that up now. There's a few more things I need to put in the Bergen before I'm ready to move. Okay, one of them being my bivvy at the bottom here and my camping mat here. They will be attached in a minute. Okay, let's move on to webbing. Okay, here's my webbing. Pretty standard yoke and belt. On the front here, I've got my magazine pouches. I've got 4 mags on my left hip. I've got 2 spare ones on my right hip here. They're quick release. Okay. These 2 pouches here are grenade pouches. They've got dummy grenades in at the moment, but they stay on my right hip. Moving round, I've got my Glock pistol. On this side, I've got what's called a dump pouch. Okay, when my magazines are empty, okay, they go straight in there. It's a quick and easy pocket just to slide them in. Alright, that way I don't lose any. Moving around to the back of the webbing. Here I have my canteen and my cup. Alright. Never ever leave it full, okay, because you don't want stagnant water in there. Always top it up fresh before you go out on patrol. Alright. Make sure it's full. I keep this in here, alright, but basically I use this to top up my hydration bladder. Alright, there's nothing worse than having a half empty water bottle sloshing around making a noise when you're trying to be sneaky and quiet at night. Middle pouch, I've got a first aid kit. Okay, I've got a multi-tool, and I can also squeeze some rations into that spare space if I'm going out for a couple of hours patrol. Last pouch here, I've got my mess tin with some rations in there, oil in the bag, okay, and some tea making and coffee making. If I'm going out for longer periods, okay, I can add extra rations if I'm going out. Finally, this pouch here is my radio pouch. It's got a battle aerial on it, which is extendable. Just gives you a bit more extra range. There we go. Like so. Okay, that's basically how I've got my webbing set up. Oh yeah, one extra pouch on the front here. I normally carry a spare 9mm magazine for my Glock. That's the webbing. let's talk about some sort of food you can take with you. Okay, this is a standard MOD ration pack. Okay, look how big that is. It's going to take up a lot of space if you just stick that in your Bergen as it is. Okay, what we need to do is break that down into different compartments. Okay, and we're going to look at what have we got in here. What do I actually need? I don't need all to eat all this at the same time, obviously. Okay, but I have got lamb stew and potatoes, fruit dumplings. Alright, that's my evening meal. That could go in my Bergen. Here I've got some sundries and some tea making material. Okay, I could stick that in my webbing because I'll probably need that during the day sometime. Here's my breakfast. Okay, that can probably go in my Bergen. And I've got other things here like snacks throughout the day, boil sweets, Yorkie bar, biscuits, alright, oatmeal block, and chicken and herb pate, and some drinks. Alright, those little snack things I can pack in on my webbing, and I can use them throughout the day. Alright, most important meal of the day is your breakfast. Get a good meal inside your body, get that energy moving around, get yourself ready, and you're fit to go out on patrol. Alright, you probably won't need much during the day apart from your snacks. Alright, and then you have your big main meal in the evening when you get back to the harbour area. Okay guys, that's my Bergen already packed to go. Got my camping mat on the top here. Got my bivvy here. Quick access, I can pull that out, start packing it up without taking a single item out of the Bergen at a time. There's a couple of extra pouches I've got on here. Okay, in this side I like to keep my waterproof trousers and a thermos flask. Alright, so I don't have to stop and brew up any tea if I fancy it. And then this side I have my waterproof jacket. Okay, so waterproof trousers, waterproof jacket in these two side pockets, easy access. I don't have to dive into the Bergen to get them, pull all this stuff out the top. Alright, a couple of extra spare pouches on here. Here I've got things like a reel of tape, some spare batteries, and another multi-tool. In here it's a little bit of an admin pouch. I've got my toothbrush and paste. I've got a compass. I've got a Lumi stick, maybe for marking out at night or something. I've got my knife, fork and spoon, aka scran spanners. Another little multi-tool. Okay, I've got a pace counter. I've got a little red signalling light. And I've got a whistle. Okay, there may be other things that I put in here depending on what sort of exercise we're running. Okay, this is not everything that I can take on exercise. If we're doing section attacks, I'll take my helmet. However, if we're doing things like OPs and recce's and observation, I might pack a ghillie suit. Okay,